This farmer was injecting some weaner sheep in a race, and he was using a technique whereby, because it's a subcutaneous vaccination, he was what we call tent the skin. He was lifting the skin to inject the vaccine. And the sheep jumped and the needle went into the heel of his hand instead of into the sheep. In this case, the farmer went straight to a GP, but eventually he did actually undergo surgery to remove all of the damaged tissues. Surgery was very successful. It was completely successful on the first attempt. After 2 weeks he was using the hand again, and after 6 weeks it was pretty well completely healed.
Needle stick injuries occur often in agriculture with injecting livestock with a health product. We had a survey a couple of years ago, and 8% of the recipients of the survey said they'd actually accidentally injected the vaccine into their skin. This farmer is able to return to work. He doesn't seem to have any residual problems or difficulties other than a lack of sensation in a small area of his hand.
And I was told I wouldn't be able to do this after the operation, but I can. He was a brilliant surgeon.
Any animal vaccination which has an oily vehicle in it can be dangerous to humans, and the old 10-strain foot rot vaccine and the current pink eye vaccine also contain oily substances and are very unpleasant if self-injected.
The danger areas are: where do you put the gun, where do you put the needle, what do you do?
Well, one of the important things is to make sure you use a vaccinating gun with a protective sheath around the needle. You may not think that you've pressed the trigger and pumped any vaccine in, but there may still be vaccine in the actual needle, and it may be enough to cause a reaction. Well, careful vaccination technique, as we mentioned before, making sure you use a protected vaccination gun. Don't get your free hand near the vaccination site. Good facilities, animals well restrained. So good planning and taking your time and good facilities are the main things.
Prevention's better than cure. It's important to protect the needle when you're not actually using it, so that it doesn't have any opportunity to jab you. A person receiving a needle stick injury should immediately ring up their GP and perhaps even their vet as well to find out exactly where and what they should do, and ask the GP for a referral to a surgeon, and that they need to stress to the GP it is very important. A farmer can obtain information about the vaccines not only from the manufacturer's website, but in every packet there will be a small information sheetlet. The surgeon says, don't bugger around, seek medical advice immediately and make sure it's someone who knows what they're doing.
It's very important that people don't allow the fear of self-injection to prevent them from using some really useful vaccines. And we would like to stress that there's been probably several million doses of oily vaccines administered to animals in Tasmania in the last few years, but we've only had one serious case that we know of. And with good technique, people shouldn't inject, but if they do, we do have a plan so that if they are injured and they do go to their general practitioner and maybe get referred on to a hand surgeon, that there's a good chance that we'll get a good outcome.